When was the last time you had French toast? Maybe you never had French toast. And if you didn't, you're missing out. When I was growing up, it was a staple. We're going to talk a little bit more about French toast, and you'll understand why I brought that up today. It's going to come back to you as financial French toast. I'm the author of Money Help, Holistic Economic Life Planning. And today I'm going to share with you my 4 favorite things that I think are most important if you want to build wealth. And when I say build wealth as opposed to talking about retirement planning, is because retirement planning is just one size fits all. If you can become wealthy at an earlier age, you can quit working and you can have your assets provide the income. And that's what it's really all about. I did it in my own life, and I'm helping as many people as I can to do the exact same thing through holistic economic life planning. You'll see where the French toast comes in. But there's 4 things that I really, really believe in that will get people wealthy, and it's always been this way. A lot of things haven't changed, although the government of Wall Street would like us to think they have. Number 1 is private business, is owning a business or a part of a business. But I'm not talking about indirect ownership like stocks. That's something different. I'm talking about purchasing a business, and it's a lot easier to purchase a small business than it is to start one up. They already have the infrastructure. So you can take a business that may have been in existence for quite a number of years and they haven't implemented or plugged in the new technology. So you can really ramp it up and add value. And I believe if it's a grass business, I've seen people become super wealthy. It doesn't have to be a complicated business, but number 1, private business. Number 2, real estate. Always has been since the beginning of time. Own dirt, whether it be rental income, vacation rental income, or buying and selling land, or lending money for land. Real estate has so many ways to go, and I believe it's a vital, important, one of the top 4, I'll call it. So private business ownership, real estate. The third one, it's buying stock indirectly. In other words, owning public shares of stock. But the only time that I get really interested in it is when and if someone is matching me dollar for dollar or part of a dollar like in a 401k. Because honestly, to go buy stock outside of that, although some people can do well doing it, I just don't find you have as much of a hands-on, and I don't believe the dollar per profit is big enough as it is in private business and real estate, as well as tax advantages. The third one, that is the 4th one, is something called permanent life insurance. And that's the one that takes the most explanations. That wasn't always the case. Hundreds of years ago, they understood owning permanent cash value life insurance, in particular whole life, was an integral part of a financial plan. Now, I want you to wonder why that went away, so to speak. Now, it didn't go away for everybody because the key executives and banks own billions of dollars of cash value insurance. They understand the reasons to own it. But the average guy, he's been talked away from it by Wall Street and the federal government because there is no dog in the hunt for either one of them. Wall Street doesn't make a nickel on it. If you do it right, the federal government's never going to get a nickel after. When you take a dollar you pay taxes on and you put it into permanent life insurance, it'll never see the tax world again. You can get it whether you're living or dead, tax-free. And that's why it's integral, it's important. And today I'm going to explain to you very briefly and try to be concise about it, but whole life insurance or permanent life insurance, properly structured, is not an investment. That's the one thing that I agree with when Wall Street says it's not an investment. It's not an investment at all. It's not a good investment. It's not a bad investment. It's not an investment. It's more like a fort. And it's more like a savings that has tremendous tax advantages and the leverage of a death benefit. So hundreds of years ago, they understood it, and it began, frankly, the first guy to explain the benefit of it, even though it had been used for a long time, was Solomon Huebner. And he started the American College, and it was on the economics of life insurance. Very detailed book. And honestly, a lot of what I'm going to be talking to you about came from this book, but the jargon is really a tough read. But everything in here is valuable. So what is life insurance most like? Well, ironically, it's like one of the top 4 that I like. It's like real estate. And here's the example I'll give you. Like real estate, you can pay for it over time. For example, if you were 40 years old, you could buy a policy paid up at 65, and you would pay on it every year until at 65 it was completely paid up like a piece of land would have been. Like land, as you are paying on it, you're building equity, which can be used as collateral. And when you borrow against it, there's no taxes. You borrow, you put back, it's collateral. Like real estate, it appreciates over time. If it's properly structured, not only cash grows, but the death benefit grows as well. And the one thing we know in life is that death is certain. And by having a large amount of money coming in tax-free at some point, it allows us to do things while we're living that we ordinarily wouldn't have done. It's called a permission slip. It allows you to spend more than the principal on your other assets during your lifetime and have a much more fulfilled cash flow life. So there's a lot of reasons and ingredients. Now, the reason that I referred to financial or French toast in the beginning is because I want to explain something that helps me a lot. French toast, here's the recipe. At least when I was a kid, that's how we did it. In a pan, we'd break an egg. We'd throw sugar. We'd throw a little bit of vanilla. And then we would put the bread in there, soak it all up. Then we'd put it in a skillet with a little bit of grease and fry it on both sides. When it come out, we'd put a little powdered sugar on it, okay? All the ingredients were important, but the bread is the one that holds everything together, and that's what cash value permanent life insurance is. It is the most important asset in the puzzle. It allowed me, from the time I was 30 to 50, I bought as much permanent life insurance almost as I could qualify for, because you do have to justify the economic value of your life and how much you can actually own. I did that because I understood those 4 things: private business, real estate, matching 401ks, and cash value life insurance, how they work together. So from 30 to 50, I bought as much as I could, and I began to use it as collateral to buy real estate. And then I would sell real estate, take the money, put it back into the policies, back and forth. It was as if it was my family bank. And that's how we used it, and we still do today. And from one generation to the next, when I pass away, my kids will do the same thing. So that we're building, kind of like the Rockefellers, a family trust, so to speak, and we know how to protect it, because life insurance does have some things that the real estate doesn't. Number one, it protects the money from lawsuit, bankruptcy, and creditors. It also has really no extra expenses to own, as in maintenance and insurance and different things that go into it. So it's pretty clean lines. Now, because of that, it's not that the life insurance in and of itself is awesome. It really is. If you only did that, it would be fine. But it's how it integrates and coordinates with all the other 4 pieces on the puzzle that I'm talking about: private business, real estate, matching 401ks, and cash value life insurance. You need to work with people, I believe. If everything I said to you makes sense, work with teams like I will refer to you, the teams that I personally taught, and the teams that I use today to coordinate, integrate, that help me to build that recipe, that good financial French toast. And it tastes so good when it's all put together. So if you like this, reach out, like us, help@capitalplanningteam.com. Email us. We'll set up a private meeting by phone or in person. You'll get a copy of my book. Like the program if you like it. Also, Christian Capitalism on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Reach out to us. I'll leave you with, I always do, one of the Todd's 10 to win. The first one, in fact, partner with God. Pray daily. Bring Him into your plans, and everything will be much more successful. And always remember Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless.